In this video, I rank every single rated mythic level in Geometry Dash. And let me tell you, some of my rankings are pretty brutal and controversial. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so there are going to be 3 categories that will determine the placement of these levels: gameplay, decoration, and the song. Anyway, so we're going to start off with the first level, Skeletal Shenanigans. It's safe to say that I'm going to put this in the C tier. Gameplay is not very good. The boss fight animation is definitely the best part and why a lot of people love this level, but it doesn't make up for that. The gameplay is kind of trash, so it's going in the C tier. Alright, Rage Quit by Beli. It is a 2-star, so I will say the gameplay is definitely like not much to say. It's pretty easy, which is nice. I think it's not good enough to put an S, but I think I will put it in A. Okay, this might be the first S tier, GD Gangster Rap. There's so many Easter eggs. The song is undoubtedly the best part of it. And yeah, like I have like no bad things to say about GD Gangster Rap. Okay, the first ever mythic level in Geometry Dash, the Towerverse. I actually have beaten this level, and my main criticism on this is like the middle of the level where the icon has like the umbrella. That part is like the worst, and it took me over half an hour just to clear that section. So I think the Towerverse is probably going to be in D, because like compared to other mythic levels, it's very middle of the road. I think Stronghold is pretty cool in terms of the gameplay. I will say the gameplay is pretty good. Decoration and animation wise, I do like the theme with the stick figures and all that, but I don't think it's as good as Rage Quit, but I think I will put it in B. Abducted has like a really cool like end part where you're like in a comic book section. I really like that part. Not a huge fan of like the DDR part, and the gameplay is also not the best, but decoration wise this does look pretty sick, so I think it's also going to go in the B tier. Alright, I'm going to be honest, Funhouse I did not have a good time with, so that's also going to go in D. It's really buggy, and just decoration wise it's not very good. Also not a huge fan of Rafer either, so that's saying something right there. Edicarnus. I'm not a huge fan of horror personally. I do like some of like the cool features that this level has though, but I do like it more than Skeletal Shenanigans, so I think I might also put this in B. Button Masher by Vibrin is probably worse than the Towerverse, honestly. Decoration wise it is not very good. There's a lot of parts where you're like spamming like your input button, like hence why it's called Button Masher. Even still, it's not a very good level. Alright, Space Invaders. This level is way too long. I really wish I did beat this as the event level, but I just got so bored of it. But I think thematically, like, it is pretty well, and the song is actually pretty cool. I think I will put this in A tier. Orbit, the first ever classic mythic extreme demon. Thematically wise, it's pretty unique where every input is an orb of some type. However, it is not optimized whatsoever. Like, it is laggy. Like, even Zoink himself said that verifying was kind of a pain because of the lag. So because of like the unoptimization, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I really do appreciate the work that all the creators put into this. Throat of the World, my only extreme demon completion. The difficulty spike really ramps up towards the end of the level, which I'm not a fan of. The section from the beginning to before the summit is really easy and chill, and then the difficulty ramps up so much. So because of like the huge difficulty spike, I'm probably gonna put this in B tier, but I really did enjoy Throat of the World as a whole. Blackfire Backfire is a fire level. You see what I did there? Gameplay, I will say, out of the event levels, is by far like the best gameplay that I've played. Kira made like a really good level. Decoration is solid. Song is solid. I'm trying to choose my S tiers very carefully because like they're all mythic for a reason, so like that's why I'm brutally rating these. Backbeat Revenge, not the best level for people who struggle with eye problems, I will say. Backbeat Revenge I had a good time with, however the ending wave is very hard to process what you're trying to do. For that I'm probably going to put this in C tier, but I really like the song. Like Darwin is also a really good creator. Aperture, like I think it's a little like overrated if I'm going to be honest. Some parts of the gameplay like are pretty cool, but some parts aren't as good as others. I'd probably put it in A tier. I would not put it in like the S rank because like I said, I gotta save the S ranks for the best of the best. I didn't have like a super hard time with this level when I played the NCS Gauntlet. I think Berserker for what it is alright. I don't have anything like bad to say about it, so I think this is also gonna be a B tier. Although Next Cab Soon, I really struggled with this level. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have like a super good time with this level, so I think I'll put it in C tier. It's like a nice design level, but I don't really have much else to say about it. Although Astrolith, I'm also probably going to put in the C tier because there are parts that I was like really struggling with, and the gameplay is really difficult for an easy demon. Final Orbit is really cool though, because like the beginning like cutscene with like the spaceship is like the best cutscene that you could like make in a level, and Beli is also just like a really cool creator. It's definitely good enough to be put in the A tier. Towerverse 2, definitely a step up from the original Towerverse, but I think this is definitely going into the S tier. Towerverse 2, I had a super fun time with. I had no problems with this level whatsoever, and design wise it was super cool. Boss Rush 2, I kind of speed ran through this. I didn't find like all the Easter eggs and fight all the boss fights, although the ending boss fight I remember was definitely a struggle, so I'll put this in the B tier. Is this Quarian? This was one of the first mythic levels in the game. I think in terms of like a VVVVV styled level, this is like really cool. I've personally never played this level yet, but I think thematically wise, I think I'll put this in the A tier. Alright, Feed Your Grungus. This is like the meme level. I feel like decoration wise it looks pretty simple. Like it's definitely like noticeable 2.2 objects. I'm gonna put this in C tier, but it is a very funny level. Random Verse. I will say all of like the cool paths you can discover is actually like pretty nice. They're all decorated really well. I feel like it's Milled Road, so I'm also gonna put this in B tier. Wow, the B tier is actually filling up pretty nicely. But anyways, one of my favorite levels in the game, it's going in S tier. If you guys haven't played or watched Hyperluminal, the first mythic auto level in the game, you guys should go play it. It's a feast for the eyes. Need I say more? Kasaragi, this is another Space Gauntlet level. The music sync in this level is probably the best out of a mythic level. I think the music is probably my favorite part of this level, so I think Kasaragi is going to go in the A tier. I remember having a really solid time with this level. Terminus, I've played this level on and off for a very long time now, and I really do want to finish it. This kind of like has the problem with Throat of the World, like the ending is a lot harder than the beginning, but Terminus is really cool, and it's like a Space Invader style level, and I've always really liked watching a showcase of this. Alright, Space-Time Continuum is a garbage dump, so it's going indeed. I don't like the song. Decoration wise, it's actually pretty satisfying, but gosh dang, the gameplay at the end is so bad. Alien Dream Emulator by Kira. The gameplay at the end is a little annoying, because the thing is, like, Kira has slowly gotten better with gameplay, like, as he or she, I don't know. But like I said, his gameplay has definitely gotten better. So I think Alien Dream Emulator is probably gonna go in the B tier. I totally forgot this level existed, Geometry Quest 2. It's kind of like Terraria themed, with like the boss fights and all that. this level like made me feel nothing, so it's gonna go in the C tier. Like, I don't have much to say about it. The men here, now this is a level that has consistent difficulty all the way through, and I've always been a huge fan of Jay Shadow's work. Personally, I think this is better than Throat of the World, so I'm gonna put this in A tier. Not quite good enough to put in S just because it's not super optimized, and I was lagging close to the end of the level before the final boss fight. Entropy by MC. I tried playing this as the weekly demon because it was the weekly demon when it came out. Some parts of the gameplay were just towards the end of the level were just a little bit frustrating. Definitely not as good as the other Mythic levels, so I think for that I'm probably gonna put this in like the C tier as well. Neptune's Path. This is a cool level. It's a very like Subnautica inspired level. I think thematically for a platformer level, this is really cool. So Neptune's Path is going to go in the A tier. Well, my personal experience can't save this level. I wanna cry. This is definitely like the lowest point for Kira. Blackfire Backfire is amazing. The Alien Dream emulator was pretty good, but this is probably like the worst one in terms of gameplay, and it's also really hard to sight read, so it's gonna go in the C tier. Out of Place, not a space themed level for the Gauntlet. It's very boring. Decoration wise, I'm not the biggest fan of it, so Out of Place is gonna go in the F tier. Pixel Path, I do know the level, however I've never personally played it. I think thematically wise is pretty cool, however it's really hard to see because it's like really dark a lot of the time. I'll probably put it in B tier. Like, I don't have much input. This level, on the other hand, is a massive S tier. I love this level so much, and Jay Shadow witnessed my completion of it. There's a mod for it which allows you to save progress, which is awesome, which ranks this level like above all the rest. But yeah, Arc Turn is one of my favorite levels like in the game just in general. Like, it's so good. Bullet Mental, I don't know much about this level. Went through this level once in practice mode, didn't like the gameplay, never saw it again. Unfortunately, due to that, I'm putting Bullet Mental in D tier. Alright, Project Nova Form. This is the first Mythic 2-player level. I do like it. However, the ending part was very frustrating because I was like dying to like random stuff. Due to the end and due to like some other stuff, I'm gonna put this in the B tier. Alright, Dead God Cult. I know I haven't played this level really, but I'm gonna put this in the S tier. In terms of a unique concept for a level, Dead God Cult is so good. Espia Zion. This is kind of like a spin-off of Matthew Game's other level that was Mythic but got demoted to Legendary, called Tears of Denial, which is kind of like a inspiration from Dark Souls. I don't hate it enough to put it in D tier, but I'm gonna put it in the C tier. Lacertus. This is one of those levels where it's fun to watch but it doesn't look fun to play. But I will say, watching the last boss fight with like the samurai gecko versus the icon, that's like one of like the most satisfying boss fights in a platformer level you can watch. So due to that, I think I'm gonna put Lacertus in the B tier. Sunset Scramble, the gameplay is garbage. Decoration wise, it's very similar to Jam Attack, which Jam Attack style is not worthy of Legendary. I'm putting this in D tier. I would really like to play it, but the gameplay is so annoying. Other Side Hotel, it's bugged. I tried playing it, couldn't tell what was going on. D tier. Alright guys, here we are. It's my image. I tried playing this level. So I really tried playing this level when Platformer Saves mod was available on Geode, but it's not anymore, so I can't really play this right now. Thematically wise, it's pretty cool, but it's also really long. But I think I will put this in the A tier. But once Platformer Saves comes back online, I will 100% go back to playing this. I'm assuming this is Heavy Gears. It's hard to see because I'm assuming this is the end screen. I feel like if I learned the gameplay like a lot, I think I would find it rather enjoyable, but it's probably not well optimized. Heavy Gears is going to go in the B tier. And ladies and gentlemen, every single Mythic level is on here. Huge shout out to my moderator Kiyuki for making this tier list. Huge shouts to him. Let me know in the comments what I should rank in a tier list next, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a good day.